Okay, so I'm gonna be reviewing another classic today. We got the Frosted Flakes. Um, so for me, the thing with Frosted Flakes is they they might be too popular. I don't like anything that's mainstream. Um, but in this case, uh, it is so good that it deserves to be mainstream. Try to get the box in more shots. I feel like the camera view isn't very large. Yeah, I don't like the box taking up the whole thing. Um, so for presentation, I think Frosted Flakes look pretty lame. It's just not, it seems pretty boring. They're just, the name sucks too, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, the flakes are just like too standard and boring. But you gotta give it to Tony the Tiger. He's like the best cereal mascot. He's super popular. So I'm gonna go 8 in presentation. And then for crunch, the flakes are definitely not as good texture wise as like a puff or a loop or a Captain Crunch. But if you get, that's individual flakes, but if you get a whole spoonful of flakes, it's like a whole different mouth feel. Um, a spoonful um of flake cereal is, I think, the best crunch you can get. And so for that reason, I'm giving it a 10 in crunch. Now in taste, it's like so straightforward. It just seems so boring, you know. Like how good could it really be? Whenever I'm not eating Frosted Flakes, I'm thinking like, yeah, Frosted Flakes are boring. But when I am eating Frosted Flakes, you realize like just how much they've perfected the frosted flavor. See, Frosted Flakes taste so good that one time, this is a true story. You can ask Emerson. I ate I was eating Frosted Flakes, and I started crying. I cried tears of joy because it was so good. And so, we're giving it an 11 out of 10 in taste. It's truly one of life's most pure joys. But the downside to the flakes is as you get to the end of the bowl, they run away from the spoon and they become harder to scoop, harder to create those perfect mouthfuls. And they tend to break a lot into little bits and leave that sort of aftermath in the bowl that, you know, you couldn't really scoop. And when you drink the milk for the milk taste at the end, you don't want any solids in it, you know? And a flake cereal tends to reach a point of too soggy quicker than other cereals. So the perfect 10 crunch doesn't last throughout the whole bowl. And for that reason, the milk affinity, I'm going to give a 5. It might deserve lower than a 5, but I refuse. It tastes so good that I refuse to give it lower than a 5 in any category. Yeah, I hate this part of the bowl when it's hard to scoop, you know. And then milk taste, it's kind of ruined. Especially this is the last one out of the box, so it's gonna have more bits. I already took that into account, but the milk does actually taste pretty good. If it didn't have bits in it, like if you spend the time to clear them all out, it would be a 9. So I'm gonna give it a 9. Yeah, that's how good Frosted Flakes is. It's worth crying over.